Roger Stone here. Your dollars are losing ground, but gold isn't. American Sovereign Bullion helps you protect your wealth through real, tangible assets. Through their nationwide wholesaler network, you get some of the best pricing on gold and silver delivered straight to your door. Since 1912, the U.S. dollar has lost 97% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold continues to prove its strength. So call 844-272-2428. That's 844-272-2428. Or visit dyingdollar.com to request your free gold and silver guide. That's dyingdollar.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi!
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Breaking news, WABC.
Well, there are reports from the White House and also from Iran that we may be days away from a deal. So how legitimate? Can we trust Iran? Where's this going? Could there be something in time for President Trump's birthday on Sunday? Well, John, who better than KT McFarland, former Deputy National Security Advisor under President Trump?
I trust KT.
I do too. Trust in KT. That's a good line. We could have a bumper sticker like that, right? KT, what do you think?
I think that they've got a deal. Now, there are many details of the deal, but they've got the outline of the deal. And the reason this is different than all the 27 other times he said we're really close, is because the Gulf Arabs have all signed on. So the statement that President Trump issued yesterday from the White House was, we have a deal, and we have shown the deal to all of these countries, and they have all agreed to it. United States, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, UAE, all those countries. And the reason it's so essential to have their buy-in is because whatever deal we get, you have to verify that the Iranians are keeping their word. And you know they won't, you know they'll cheat. And when they cheat, you have to have an enforcement mechanism built in. So what's the enforcement thing? And that's why the Gulf Arabs are so important, because if there's an enforcement, let's say they're cheating and they've restarted their nuclear program, they're enriching uranium. Okay, so we have to find out that they're doing it, and that will have snap inspections, anytime, anyplace inspections, conducted by us and conducted by others. But then, let's say they're cheating. So then what do? You destroy that facility. Who does it? Yeah, we could do it, sure. But you want the other countries in the region to do it. The other thing you want the other countries in the region to do is open their books, because it turns out that the IRGC was laundering money through all offshore accounts that were all in the banks of UAE and Qatar and other places. And if they're signed on to a deal, that means they'll show us their books, and that's where you follow the money. That's where you stop Iran cold in its tracks. You shut down its money.
So what happens, KT, do you think, over the next few days? And do you get the sense that it's going to happen this quickly? The other thing, too, you talked about the money. I was thinking about, there's been a lot of hoopla over whether money would be released or sanctions will be lifted. And the president came out a little bit ago, you probably saw this, saying that there will not be any sort of sanctions relief or anything until we have clear that they have delivered on what they've said they're going to do. There's some people who don't want to see them get any sanctions relief, period.
Yeah, there's no signing bonus with this. So they've got to start performing, and then maybe the sanctions are lifted. But the other thing that's important is that, and Scott Bessent sort of floated the idea, nobody in the press paid a lot of attention, but he said, look, we're going to know where the money is spent. So normally when Iran has gotten money from President Obama, others, what does he use it for? Not to build hospitals and schools, but to use it for their nuclear weapons program or to give it to their proxies, Hezbollah and Hamas. This way, well, now that we have access to the books, we'll know where that money's going. We'll know, they're not going to build a hospital with that. They're building a missile factory. And that way we can, it's almost like food stamps, I guess. You could say, well, we're allowing them to spend their money on these things, but not on these things. And we will have the ability to shut down anything that they're going to spend money on that we don't want them. Now, look, those are all a lot of details that haven't been worked out yet. But I can see the road that the president could use to get an agreement that works. Now, will Iran say, we surrender, you guys were right, we're terrible people, no, they're not going to do it. And President Trump is the kind of guy that won't rub their nose in it. I think he'll let them have some kind of dignity. They'll be able to say, it was a great victory for them. It isn't. But I think he'll let them do this in such a way that they at least maintain their dignity. They certainly want to maintain their weapons or their power or anything else. And then finally, I'm going to watch the oil. Who's going to deal with the oil? I think President Trump has in his mind, well, the kind of deal we have with Venezuela. We'll go help you rebuild, but we want a percentage.
Yeah, that would be interesting because he also talked about Carg Island. We also have with us Governor David Patterson.
KT, I'd like to hear your thought on this. I think that because we live in a civilized society, because we have a legal system that protects us, because when people disregard the law, we have a way of punishing them. We almost come to the belief that everyone else is that way. And so when you have a negotiation, we think that, once we reach an agreement, all we have to do is sign the papers and move on. When in fact, people, Iran and other territories around the world, they're still in the 13th century. They will look you in the face and lie and make you believe that they're really sincere.
That's actually even part of their ethic. It's called taqiyya. It is that you can lie. Allah lets you lie if it's to protect yourself. So yeah, they're not worried about, quote, what you and I would call the truth.
Taqiyya, I'm going to remember that.
Yeah, Taqiyya, something like that.
All right.
But, so they're going to break it. We know they're going to break it. You're going to assume they're cheating. That's why you have to have the ability to inspect them and then to punish them. So let's say, for example, in the Obama nuke deal, the deal was that they could have inspections, that they would have to make an appointment with Iran to say, we would like to look inside that mountain to see if there are any nuclear facilities. And Iran could say, well, it's not convenient. How about coming back in 2 weeks? Or don't look at this one, look at someplace else. No. In a Trump agreement, you've got to have the ability for snap inspections. In other words, anytime, any place, you can knock on a door, and if they say, no, not convenient, come back next week, you assume they're cheating, and you destroy the site.
Well, let's see what happens. It's going to be an interesting weekend. That is for sure. And we'll see. Let's see. Let's pray for peace. President Trump wants it. Yeah, big time. KT, thank you. We always love having you on. Thank you, KT.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, KT, and look forward to breakfast.
Totally agree on that one.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player's subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves a match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
21 plus select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 plus DCKYWY. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050. Massachusetts. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 877-770-7867. Louisiana.
Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.